We want to take you now to the White House. It's that time of year again. President Biden set to pardon 2 turkeys ahead of Thanksgiving. Let's take a listen in.
Before I begin, I'm going to ask for a vote. Do I free the turkeys tonight? Anyway, good to see you all. If you have a seat, please take it. It's great to see you all. It's a good morning. I'm honored to welcome to the biggest edition of this wonderful White House Thanksgiving tradition. And it really is. We've got a lot of special guests here today. Children and families from my staff and cabinet. Where y'all? Stay, holler. There you go. There you, all right. Students from Washington Elliott Hine Middle School. Well, thank you very much. Jill and I met them during the back-to-school visit. I'm glad you remembered us. Thank you. I remember. And Future Farmers America. Leaders of 4-H councils and leaders across the agriculture community. I just want you to know, everyone here, we're excited to have our honored guest with us today, Liberty and Bell. This is their day. Thanks to the chairman of the National Turkey Federation, Steve Lykin, Steve and your entire family. Got to meet the entire family. And by the way, it's my birthday today, and they can actually sing birthday music. I just want you to know it's difficult turning 60. Difficult. His entire family raised these birds on their family farm in Minnesota. And Steve, we're grateful to your entire family. You're a beautiful family. Thank you very much. God, they're big. See, I'm used to chickens in Delaware. We got a $4 billion industry in chickens, but no chicken that big, man, I tell you. Just a few weeks ago, I visited another family farm in Minnesota, where we talked about the pride of small towns and communities, rural communities, the pride that people have being able to know they can stay there and continue to keep their farms, and how because of the investments we're making, we're restoring hope and opportunities so family farms can stay in the family, and children don't have to leave home if they wish to stay and make a living on the farm. Look, it matters. And thanks to all the families across America who feed and fuel our nation and the world, I might add. The world. The National Turkey Presentation and Pardon marks the unofficial start of the holiday season. We're here in Washington, a time to share joy and gratitude and have a little bit of fun. This is the 76th anniversary of this event. And I want you to know I wasn't there in the first one. I was too young to make it up. One thing I want to make clear that was not clear then, even though Liberty and Bell are from Minnesota, they're named for famous Liberty Bell in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. These birds have a new appreciation of the word, let freedom ring. So I'm told by the Turkey Federation of Liberty Bell and Liberty and Bell, they love Honeycrisp apples. Not bad, huh? Ice hockey. I sure in hell like to see them play ice hockey. 1,000 lakes and the Mall of America. Now, just to get here, Liberty and Bell had to beat some tough odds in competition. They had to work hard to show patience and be willing to travel over 1,000 miles. You could say even this harder than getting a ticket to the Renaissance tour or Britney's tour. She's down in, it's kind of warm in Brazil right now. Look, folks, based on their commitment to being productive members of society as they head to their new home at the University of Minnesota, gonna bring them on up, or do I do it there? That's a big bird, man. I'm impressed. I hereby pardon Liberty and Bell. All right. Congratulations, birds. Congratulations. Look, now let me conclude on a serious note about why we have Thanksgiving in the first place. To remind ourselves, and we sometimes forget this, how we have so much to be thankful for as a nation. This week, we'll gather with the people we love and the traditions that each of us have built up in our own families. We'll also think about the loved ones we lost, including just yesterday when we lost former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, who walked her own path, inspiring a nation and the world along the way. And let's remind ourselves that we're blessed to live in the greatest nation on this face of the earth. That's what I see when I travel America. I met so many incredible people who do such extraordinary things, including just yesterday, Jill and I visited the largest naval station in the world, Norfolk Naval Station, and in Virginia, to serve what they call Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving meal to 1,000 servicemen and their families. We owe them. We owe them big. And today's ahead, our families and friends travel and come together to celebrate Thanksgiving. We can all give thanks to the gift that is our nation. And let's remember, we are the United States of America. And there is nothing, I mean this sincerely, nothing beyond our capacity when we work together. We've never come out of a situation, a bad circumstance, without being better off when we come through it. And this is always who we are as Americans. So happy Thanksgiving. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And there you have it, the annual tradition. A punny president today spent his birthday pardoning Liberty and Bell, reminding us all that we should give thanks to those who serve our nation and trying to send a message of unity as our nation seems divided these days. Liberty and Bell spending the night, I think we have the photo, in the lap of luxury at the Willard Hotel just before this pardoning. Hopefully we can get that photo up for you at some point. But let's bring in, there it is. Look at that, in their cush, twin beds, waiting for their fate. Let's bring in Elizabeth Schulze now from the White House. I got to know, Elizabeth, was this your inaugural pardoning, or have you been there before, and how does this compare?
This was it, Ariel. This was my inaugural, and I feel like it's pretty fitting because these were turkeys from Minnesota, which is my home state.
That's
and so
right.
A lot of excitement from Minnesotans about these two turkeys making their way across the country. The president made a joke that apparently it was harder for them to get here than it is to get tickets to Taylor Swift. He was very punny today, you're right, and that these turkeys enjoy ice hockey, he said. Their names are Liberty and Bell. They are now officially pardoned and will be making their way back to the University of Minnesota for a long, full life after this glorious event.
Yes, glorious indeed. And what's amazing is you look at those birds, and apparently they hatched back in July. They're both more than 40 pounds now. The president seeming to have a good time. It seems like a nice moment of levity at a time when we in the world are seeing so much darkness.
Oh, he was gobbling it up, Ariel. I mean, he was loving the jokes. He talked about, even he poked fun of himself. It's President Biden's 81st birthday today, and he made a point of saying that this tradition of pardoning the turkeys is 76 years old, but he doesn't remember. He was too young to remember at that time. So a couple of cracks about his age there. Of course, he is facing some very real criticisms and concerns about his own age as the oldest sitting president. But this is a day that's lighthearted here at the White House. It's one where the president says we should come together and give thanks, and making a note of honoring Rosalynn Carter, of course, who passed away. The president making a nod to her in his remarks, and always thanking our troops, which he's expected to do later in this week in Thanksgiving too, Ariel.
In a note, Elizabeth, Biden also spoke about the pride of small towns and rural communities. We have fun with these turkey pardonings, but there really was that sincere message from the president today.
There was, and part of this is a nod to the fact that these are from the heartland. He says these turkeys came from the Midwest. He made a point of saying that in rural America, this is a moment to celebrate. It's a moment to celebrate across the country. But of course, the president likes to joke and nod to something that he calls a tradition for decades, and certainly hoping that he'll be able to continue to take part in that tradition if he's reelected, Ariel. Well, he's focusing on those states a lot these days. We saw him in Minnesota just last month. a lot of Minnesotans watching closely this day, too.
I'm sure back in your home state. So we know
Yes.
that the president is celebrating his birthday today. Do we know about his Thanksgiving plans?
We do know that the president will go to Nantucket for Thanksgiving. He has made that a tradition during his presidency. He'll celebrate with his family there, and a pretty low-key schedule for the rest of the week for the president. He does typically thank U.S. troops on Thanksgiving Day, make phone calls to them. That's on his public schedule, and he has made visits to them in years past. But this is as of now, I dare say out loud, a quieter week here at the White House, but the president taking this time to make those remarks. You can see a pretty good crowd here that has gathered for the pardoning here today.
Don't jinx us. We
I
in
know.
news business
I
can never
shouldn't
say
even
the word
say it out
quiet.
loud. I shouldn't do it.
All right. Well, no ruffled feathers, as we can see, at least not yet. And we know that those turkeys have escaped their foul fate. Elizabeth Schulze, we appreciate this hard-hitting
Very good.
reporting from the White House lawn for us.
Good.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.